Bonjour. I am an artiste. Oui, Marie. Except I'm not from France. I'm from Wisconsin. Hi, I'm Nancy Erickson Duttmer of Scarlet Lake, art of many mediums. What mediums, you might ask? I'll tell you. I am an oil painter. I paint portraits and canvases. I also do minimalist. Nope. I also do miniatures, little mouse houses, etc. I decorate taxidermy. I never kill taxidermy. I never pay anyone to get me dead taxidermy. I didn't mean dead taxidermy. I didn't mean kill taxidermy. I meant kill animals. We don't do that. Sorry. I've been known to pick some things up in the street sometimes. And my most favorite medium of all is fabric painting and bead embroidery, like Marie here. So that is what I'm going to tell you mostly about today. I'm going to show you other types of my bead embroidery, and I'm also going to show you my latest project that we're going to work together. So without further ado, let me tell you about Marie. Marie Antoinette is part of my second series of beaded portraits. The name of the second series is Damsels in Style, Fashion and Fame. These were women who created a look, a timeless something iconic that got taken away into history. Obviously, Marie and her blousoon skirt was part of this, and her incredible headpieces were another part. Her background I took from a painting by Elizabeth Lebrun, who painted Marie repeatedly in the 18th century. And then I chose certain parts of another pose of another portrait for her body, but I pretty much made up just about everything else, including the bird cage on top of her head. One of the things Marie was famous for were these huge, iconic hair pieces. This one has 3 birds in it. They're kind of hard to see. Pink, there's a little turquoise bird, and then there's another little pink bird down here. I did her in sections because this frame is 6 feet tall. So I made the bird cage, and then I sewed it on, and then I sewed on her hair. These are hair coils, and there's a little more over here. I originally started working on her, I think, in November of 2022, and then that was just the painting part, and then I started beading her in December and into January, and everything was taking a long time. For instance, her rose was at least 2 weeks of work, but of course I was not doing it full-time either. I had a real job, so I was filling it in when I could. So I kept hacking away at my beading until the springtime. Something wonderful happened. I was walking in the woods and I fell down, twisted my ankle rather badly, had to hobble home a mile, back to our cabin a mile. And no, it wasn't uphill and in the snow, but it was definitely a mile home. And then get in my truck and drive 12 miles with my left foot. As it turns out, I broke my ankle. So, fortuitously, I got to sit around and bead and bead and bead, crawl to the kitchen, eat, crawl back, bead, 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 and I finally finished the old girl's skirt. A little note, this fabric belonged to my mother in the 1960s, and I carried it with me in my stash all this time. So this is the story of Marie Antoinette, who has been in a couple of galleries, and now she goes back home, staying with me, unless someone wants to take her to her home. Right, Cookie? She's in my pink living room. It fits in quite well. Next, I'm going to take you to the bedroom of bling. Ooh, that's where all my other ladies are residing. Cheerio. We'll see you soon. Welcome to my bedroom of bling. Now, where's my dog? She's here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, here. Here, stick your head out here. There she is. And this is Chibi. She was featured last fall, 2 falls ago, in Where Women Create magazine. She loves bling, don't you, baby? So I brought you in here, not to show you me and my dog, but to show you the wall that I wake up to every morning. These are the ladies from my series of my beaded portraits. There's a couple missing. I've sold a couple. There are a couple in galleries. I will introduce you to each one of them. So a little history about how I got started doing this. I discovered fabric paints. So I was painting on fabric, and then I started adding a little bit of beading to it because I used to like to bead, like everyone did in the 60s and 70s on our jeans. Then it branched out, and then I got into the Kobe bead art show in Japan, and I did that 2 years. So I had to bring art that was small. I brought little postcard size pictures that were all painted and beaded. Then when I got home, I painted Carmen Miranda. I stretched her on a canvas, and it was just cotton fabric stretched on a canvas. Then I beaded her fruit, and I absolutely loved it. So I started out doing girls from this series. The very first one, Vogue, I don't have with me right now. I'll put a picture of her on. Then Twiggy was next, and then that's how the 1960s fashion and fame was created. So I will show you each one of these little ladies one at a time. Enjoy. This is Twiggy, 1966. She was the first girl I beaded after Vogue. I loved Twiggy when I was young, and I found her sitting in this pose in a magazine. And then I also found her wearing some sort of paisley kind of garb. So I just sort of made up the pattern and sequined up, beaded up her leggings, her tights. And she's in the round format for iconic 1960s shapes. Twiggy, I still love you. Next up is Wanda Young of the Marvelettes, and this is entitled Mr. Postman, 1962. Remember that great song? Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Yeah, 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 Mr. Postman. She's mostly a sequin girl. And my mother used to have these shoes. Why did I get rid of them? And there she is. She's about 4.5 feet tall. Next to her is Goldie Hawn, but I call this one Laughin', 1968. Remember when Goldie Hawn was all painted up and go-go dancing? So her room's a little squishy. I have to get really close to her. Goodbye, Billy Joel. not Joel, Jo. She is tons of fun to wake up and look at her and read her. She totally puts a smile on my face. Get the toes. There we go. Her background was taken from Laugh-In. They had those panels that were sort of like popsicle kind of panels. This is Anne Margaret, 1963. She's on a triangle because I was trying to go for shapes. Twiggy's a circle, she's a triangle, and the 60s were all about funky shapes and funky colors. Do you remember Anne Margaret? She was the star of Bye Bye Birdie, one of my favorite movies when I was a child. And then Viva Las Vegas. She was a very popular sex kitten, I guess you can say, of the times. She was wearing this outfit in some picture. I think it was some ad for Viva Las Vegas, but it was just white fabric with pink stripes and pink polka dots. So I spent a trip going to Texas and back, not in the driver's side, beading these little circles and stripes. And then when I got home, I sewed them all onto her clothing. There's her groovy boots. Oh my Lord, we all covet those boots. And there she is, my little Anne Margaret. This is 1,000,000 years BC, 1966. Remember Raquel Welch? Remember that fabulous prehistoric movie she was in? Oh, look at that dew. She is on suede and leather in the background and burlap, and her caveman bikini, well, it was the times, is made out of all natural elements. Shells, rocks, porcupine quills, teeth, leather, anything a cave girl could find in those hard times. She has become one of the gentleman's favorite 1960s fashion and fame girls. I wonder why. I'm going to save the rest of the series, the other two, for another video. You already met Marie Antoinette. She's in one of those series. But I want to introduce you to the new girl on the block, who does not belong to a series yet. She is an island of her own. But first, Bamboo will serenade you. Thank you, Mr. Bamboo, for the serenade. And now into my studio. Studio. And I'll show you what I just am currently working on. She's only fabric painted right now. And she is, hello, Father, Cindy Lauper. Oh, girls want to have fun. That's all we really want. We only really want to have fun making art. Here's her face painted with fabric paints on cotton. I'm going to cut her out. I'm going to bead all of the green, and I'm going to feather her hair. I think most of her hair, or all of her hair, but I'll probably throw in some beads too. And here they are. I keep all mine color-coded for easy access. Always an overspill. Some feathers, and there is the original photograph. And this is what I've done to her now. I have cut her off the base and put her in an embroidery hoop. It's just easier to work with. So next video, I will be showing you how I'm going to treat this lovely little lady here. All right, over and out.
I hope you like the show. Oh, and if you do, hit the like button. Hit the like button and subscribe. And then maybe I can come back again. Oh, that would be fun. And I promise I'll be more normal next time. Probably not. Bye.